Right now, someone in Australia is earning $24.95 an hour, staring at their bank account on a Wednesday night, wondering if they can afford a takeaway coffee tomorrow. And right now, someone else is pulling in $350,000 a year, staring at their bank account on that same Wednesday night, wondering why they still feel broke. Both of those situations are real. And today, we're going to walk through every single pay level in Australia, from the national minimum wage all the way to the top 1%, and show you exactly what life looks like at each stage. Real numbers, real tax, real take home pay, and the real lifestyle each salary actually buys you in 2026. Let's start at the bottom. The national minimum wage right now sits at $24.95 per hour. That's $948 a week before tax, or roughly $49,300 a year if you're working full time. After tax, you're taking home about $42,000. That's around $1,615 per fortnight landing in your account. At this level, life is tight. The average rent in a capital city is eating up $500 to $600 a week alone. That's more than half your take-home pay going straight to keeping a roof over your head. Groceries for one person run roughly $150 a week. Throw in electricity, phone, transport, and insurance, and there's almost nothing left. Saving feels impossible. Building wealth feels like a fantasy. You're not failing. The system just wasn't designed to let you get ahead at this wage. And the worst part is, millions of Australians are stuck right here, doing honest work, showing up every day, and still falling behind. Now let's step up to $60,000 a year. This is where a lot of Australians actually sit. The median individual income across all taxpayers is between $53,000 and $55,000. So at $60,000, you're already doing better than more than half the country. After tax, $60,000 leaves you with about $48,800 per year, or roughly $1,877 per fortnight. Life here is still a grind, but you've got a little breathing room. Maybe an extra $100 a week to put towards savings or paying down debt. You're probably renting with a housemate, driving a car that's a few years old, and cooking at home most nights. And here's the thing. If you're at this level and you're intentional with your money, you can start building momentum. Even $50 a week into an index fund adds up to serious money over 10 or 15 years. The people who break out of this bracket aren't always the ones who get a massive pay rise. They're the ones who learn to make their money work harder than they do. Jump to $80,000 and something shifts. After tax, you're taking home around $63,600, which is about $2,446 per fortnight. You can now afford to rent a decent place on your own in most cities outside of Sydney. You can put money into super beyond the compulsory 12%. You can start building an emergency fund without feeling like you're starving yourself to do it. At $80,000, you're earning more than 70% of Australian taxpayers. The danger at this level is lifestyle creep. This is the pay bracket where people start financing new cars, upgrading apartments, and eating out 4 nights a week. And then they wonder why they still feel like they're living pay to pay. The people who get ahead at $80,000 are the ones who keep their expenses at the $60,000 level and invest the gap. That difference, roughly $15,000 a year invested consistently, could grow to over $400,000 in 15 years with compound returns. That's the price of discipline, and that's the cost of ignoring it. Now, $100,000, the magical 6-figure mark. For decades, this was the number that meant you'd made it in Australia. But here's the truth in 2026. $100,000 puts you in the top 17% of individual taxpayers, which is impressive on paper. After tax, you're looking at about $75,000 take home, or roughly $2,884 per fortnight. That's solid money. But in Sydney or Melbourne, where median rent is pushing $700 to $800 a week, you're still spending a huge chunk on housing. A 6-figure salary used to mean you could save a deposit for a home within a few years. Today, the median home price in Sydney is over $1.2 million. So even at $100,000, home ownership in a major city without family help is a genuine struggle. The cost of living has outpaced this salary. The $100,000 dream isn't dead, but it doesn't buy what it used to. What used to be a wealth building salary is now a comfortable survival salary in the big cities. And that shift happened faster than most people realize. Step up to $133,000 and you've just entered the top 10% of all Australian taxpayers. After tax, you take home roughly $99,800, or about $3,839 per fortnight. At this level, life becomes more comfortable. You can rent well, save consistently, invest meaningfully, and still enjoy your weekends. This is the salary range where wealth building becomes genuinely accessible, but only if you don't blow it all on a lifestyle upgrade every time your income ticks up. The biggest trap at this level is comparison. You start socializing with people who earn $200,000 or $300,000 and suddenly your $133,000 feels small. It's not. You're out earning 90% of the country. Stay disciplined and this income level can change your entire financial future. At $180,000, you're in the top 5%. After tax, you're taking home about $128,500, which is $4,941 per fortnight. Your effective tax rate has climbed to around 28.6%. That means the government keeps nearly $1 out of every $3.50 you earn. You feel the tax at this level. But your disposable income is strong. You can max out your super contributions, invest in property or shares, and build real passive income streams on the side. Life at $180,000 is about options. You can choose where to live, when to work, and how aggressively to build wealth. But you'd be surprised how many people at this income still live pay to pay. A big mortgage in Sydney, 2 car loans, private school fees, and suddenly $180,000 feels tight. The income isn't the problem, the commitments are. And that's a lesson most people learn too late. Now let's talk about $250,000 and above. At $250,000, your take-home after tax drops to roughly $162,000. You're paying close to $88,000 a year in tax and Medicare. Your marginal rate is 45 cents on every dollar above $190,000, plus the 2% Medicare levy. At this income, every extra dollar you earn, nearly half goes to the government. This is where smart tax strategy becomes essential. Salary sacrificing into super, investing through structures, and managing your deductions all make a real difference at this level. Lifestyle-wise, $250,000 is upper-class income. You can live in a nice suburb, drive a good car, take overseas holidays, and save aggressively. If you're disciplined, you could be financially independent within 10 to 15 years at this pay level. And then there's the top 1%, $350,000 and above. Roughly 110,000 Australians out of over 14 million taxpayers sit here. After tax, $350,000 leaves you with about $220,000. You're paying almost $130,000 in tax alone. At this level, time becomes the real currency. The question isn't whether you can afford something, it's whether it's worth your time and attention. The risk here is complacency. High earners often assume the income will last forever, so they spend accordingly. But careers change, industries shift, and health can fail. The smartest people at this level are the ones converting active income into assets that generate passive income. So they're building something that lasts beyond their working years. So here's the real takeaway from all of this. Your pay level matters, but it's not the whole story. Someone earning $80,000 with a 50% savings rate will build more wealth than someone earning $200,000 who spends every cent. The gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't just about earning more. It's about keeping more of what you earn, investing it wisely, and giving it time to compound. Wherever you sit on this scale right now, the single most powerful thing you can do is close the gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap is where financial freedom lives. If this shifted how you see your income, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.